Time for a new chapter and time for a new project. Now, what I'm looking at is what I consider to be the most awesome spot ever created for public television in the entire history of public television. We love our 90-second spot down here. I do not want to take the chance that anything is going to happen to this as we experiment. So do this. Go up to the word file on the pull-down menu and go down to New Project. Call it Lab, as in laboratory, as in mad scientist doing experiments. Change holding to main media. No other options. Click OK. We now have two projects. We have our energy spot by double-clicking. We have our lab for mad scientists down there. Go ahead and go into the mad scientist one. What I want to talk about is other things beyond that spot that we need to know. Now, some of those things are what we call retiming options, and let's talk about those. Let's scroll down a little bit here until we get into our stuff. Pick up the Manhattan City scene and drag it onto our storyline down here. First, I'm going to make it a little bit wider. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to grab right there. Make it about like that. Easier to work with. We used that clip, didn't we? We had a freeze frame at the front end for 5 seconds, and boom, it went into motion. So we put our playhead way over here, and if it doesn't snap for you, don't forget, snap on, snap off is right over here, or the letter N as in a shortcut. We went up to the word edit, and we went down to freeze frame. And there it is. Now we've done this. We know it. No movement, instant movement. That is, though, a separate clip. I'm going to click and delete it. I want to control things like speed, but I want the integrity of my clip to be whole. I don't want it cut up. So do this. Move the playhead to the beginning again, because that's where we want this. Come up to this button right here. Some of these things we've looked at, but we haven't looked at this one yet. Hold. Select it. Now it's a Shift-H if you want to do it with the shortcut. There it is. Now it'll do the same thing. To the viewer, nothing's different. To me, as the editor, one clip. That gives me, as an editor, more control over the final product if I choose to do it this way. Now, we still have control. If I come over here and grab the handle, I can make the hole longer or shorter. I can come way over here and grab right here and change the speed of the other part of the clip if that's something that I want to do. Now, there is another option. If we come here and click the down arrow, we have our custom. We've been here before, but we have a new one. It's called Smooth End Transition. Check this out. Watch what happens. That's a ramp for speed. Now, right now, before we started this, we had no movement, instant 100% movement. This ramps it up slowly, so maybe it's not quite so abrupt. Now, we wanted that in our spot, but you don't always want it. Now, if we look at this, let me take it to here and press the space bar. It goes slow and then goes up to speed. Now, you can control that by going here and changing that if you want to. The ability to do a hold on an entire unit does give you more control, but we have one thing that would be a disadvantage if you didn't know how to do it. If we come up here, because remember what we did, we made the first 5 seconds of the freeze frame black and white, and we could do that because it was a separate clip. So if I come over here into Effects and go into black and white, there you are. I think you know what's going to happen. The whole thing's going to go black and white. Is there a way to make that hold area black and white and everything else color? Yes, but hold that thought because we're going to talk more about that later in this chapter. But yes, it is possible. Now do this. Let's come down here and select it and just delete it. Let's close Effects out for now. Pull down the hourglass. Let me show you another retiming effect. Click on it once to select it, drag it down. All right, I'm going to adjust my clip so I can see it. About like that. This is what I want. I want to control the speed, not as one unit, but I want things to change in different areas. I want one area to go fast, maybe, one area to go slow, next area to go fast, as many as I want. If you've got it selected and you come up here, you have something called a blade speed edit. That's what we're going to use. Now, blade is in conjunction with your playhead. So if I move this over, I want to get right to the point. And I'm going to use my arrow keys where it does that first little crack right there. Press Shift-B, or use the option in the menu, and it cut it. Now, I want it to go to about where it totally collapses, like right about there, and do that again. Shift-B, and you can see what it's doing. Each area now has a control for time. Now I want to go fast, and when it gets to the middle, stay at 100, because actually that's slow motion. And then the rest of it, go fast again. So let's do this. Let's click here and go into Custom and change rate to 500. Press the return key and set it. Now let's come to this one. Now an easier way to get those controls is not to come here, just double click on the bar. Change that to 500. Press return. So we have 3 areas now, 2 fast, 1 normal. Of course, normal is slow motion. Let's go ahead and bring our playhead over. I'll press the space bar. Let's watch and see what happens. Slow, and then fast again. Using speed effects is an excellent way to get attention. And remember, in our communications credo, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, and action, attention is the first one. And things like this can get people's attention. Tell you what, let's do a Command A, which is select all down there, and just press delete. And that'll get us ready for the next lesson.